Hey guys, welcome to Yoganuary day 21. Happy Sunday. So again, not a yoga flow or anything today. I actually thought that it would be really nice to do a video about journaling and us doing a bit of journaling together, seeing as our giveaway is with the awesome Kiki K, who make beautiful diaries like this one, and really lovely stationery. So I just thought it might be nice because I sometimes find, and I'm sure some of you have found as well, especially at the start of a new year, journaling is always very high on my list, and I'm like, I'm going to do it every single day, and I'm going to write all these wonderful things and talk about all of my life. And then as soon as kind of week 2, week 3 creeps in of the year, I've lost that routine again. So I just thought if we added it in now, it might be quite a nice thing to do to get you guys back on track. So obviously there are journals and diaries that you can buy that will help you break down your journaling and help you find it a little bit easier. But what I thought I would do today is just break down how I journal, and it's a few points and questions that I answer that really don't take me that long. So some days, of course, I go to my book and I'm like, I want to write loads. But other days I literally just answer these basic things, and it just helps me to be mindful of where I am and like what I'm processing at the moment. So we're just going to have a pen and paper. It doesn't need to be anything fancy. If you have a journal, then awesome. And we're going to work through a few things. So to begin with, I always start with something I am grateful for. So it could, depending on obviously when you're doing this, if you do this first thing in the morning, then other than being really grateful for a good night's sleep, it may be something that you've been grateful for last week, or maybe a person in your life that is helping you out at the moment. So anything at all. So we're just going to take a moment and you're going to write down what it is that you're grateful for. And if you have more than one thing, then by all means write more than one thing. Okay, I'm actually going to share mine with you because it's about you. Mine, what I'm grateful for actually is my Yoganuary following being so supportive and so incredible, because even though I am doing my best to reply to every single post and message, I know that there's a few that I'm missing just because of timings, and I just want to say that I am so grateful for every single message that is sent. So that's what I'm grateful for today. Don't worry, I won't be sharing my whole journaling with you. So what I move on to next is, once I've kind of started with what I'm grateful for, that gives me a moment, I've kind of like centered myself and I've found grounding. Then I move on to how do I feel physically. So it's quite nice to take a few moments of silence, close off the eyes, and just give the body a bit of a scan and see how you're feeling physically. So go ahead and do that now. Okay, so it doesn't have to be paragraphs and paragraphs. I think that a lot of the time that's what we get caught up in when we're journaling, is that it needs to be like a big storybook. It doesn't. It can just literally be little bullet points about what's going on with you. So then I move on to how do I feel emotionally. So at this very moment, this present moment in time, how do I feel? And how do you feel? So take a moment to think about that and note that down. So obviously we've done the physically, so this is more about if you're feeling kind of happy or anxious or excited or whatever, working with those kind of things. Okay, and then when you've done that, how do you feel emotionally? I then want you to write, what has made me feel that way? So see if you can just pinpoint what's made you feel a particular way. Just really nice to kind of see if we can find links within. Over a time of journaling, you'll then kind of notice where there's patterns and things like that, and then that's when we can start making changes. Okay, so hopefully you've managed to figure that out. Of course, just like when we did our goal setting last time, if you need a bit more time, you can have more time after our video. So the penultimate thing that I do is I write down one thing that I will do tomorrow or today. If you're doing this in the morning, then it's quite nice to do it for the day. So one thing that I will do today or tomorrow for myself. So that's nothing, that's not about pleasing anyone else. That's nothing at all. So that's maybe, I don't know, watching your favorite Disney film, which is exactly what I plan on doing after I've filmed all my videos today. Maybe it's having a really nice long bath. There's many, many things. Maybe it's going to a yoga session. Maybe it's just having an hour to read your book. So whatever it is, write down just one thing that you will do for yourself tomorrow or today. Okay, and then how I finish my journaling is with an affirmation, so like a positive affirmation, and that's a statement. So it's not so much saying like, oh, I really hope that one day I'll be able to do this thing. This is saying that I am, or I will. So it's really putting something in place. It's a strong, positive statement about your life. So you're going to write down what your affirmation is right now. And sometimes they can take a little while to think of when you're first getting into it. So don't worry if you can't think of something right now, but just come to it. And if an affirmation is too hard for you to think of, then think of an intention for the day. So something that you want to offer up to your day. So maybe you want to offer up the intention of kindness, and you take that with you the whole way throughout your day, be it to yourself and to others. So one of the two, either an intention or an affirmation. Okay, so when you've got those, that is your journaling, and it really doesn't have to be any harder than that. And so with those questions, or with that kind of like level to work through, you've always got a structure, which I find easier. I find it quite hard to just look at a blank piece of paper and be like, today I went to the shops. It's, and it can be that if something has happened and you really feel like you want to let it all out, the idea is that, how do I feel emotionally, and then what made me feel this way? They're your times. If you want to really go into something and let it all out on paper, then you can. But if you don't, then just getting into a habit of doing this and noticing patterns around it, it's a really, really nice thing to do. So there you go. That is our journaling together. So hopefully you manage to get something down on paper. I know that some people will be a little bit more reluctant to do this, and maybe if you just start with journaling once a week, so just have it in there, maybe every Sunday you journal. It's a really great practice to have, and if you can get around to doing it every day, then it's awesome. But you know, none of us are perfect, and oh my gosh, there are many times where I forget to journal. And then I'm like, why didn't I journal? I'm an emotional wreck. So always coming back to the basics, being mindful, taking pen to paper, going out for a walk, all of those kind of things, a bit of meditation, they're all the things that help us just live our lives in a lot more of a balanced and positive and aware way. So thank you so much for joining me on this Sunday, a nice short and sweet video. So I've given you actually an extra 20 minutes. You were expecting half an hour of your time to be taken up by this. So I recommend that you spend the next 20 minutes doing that thing that you were going to do for yourself today. You have no excuse because you were fully expecting to have half an hour today. So enjoy your next 20 minutes or longer if you fancy it. And thank you, and I will see you tomorrow. We'll have a new giveaway tomorrow, so cannot wait to see you then. Bye bye.